Forgive the probably terrible lighting, but this is what I'm working with right now. Hi, Kylo. Kylo is here. There's Kylo. But hi, welcome to the weekly vlog. It is Tuesday now. What is going on here? I am at my friend's house this week, pet sitting while they're away on vacation. His name is Kylo. He is like 5 or 6, I think. He's a German Shepherd, and he is adorable and lovely, and the best boy ever. And then there's also 2 kitties. They're siblings named Penny and Sheldon, who I also love dearly. They're adorable. That's what's going on for this week. I'm going to be here until Friday, but because of this little cutie pie over here, I have not actually done a whole lot of reading this week so far, because he is very energetic as he's sitting here gnawing on a toy right in front of me. So yeah, not a whole lot of reading done so far this week. Oh my goodness. Hello. He has not gone for his evening walk yet, so he's a little bit high-strung right now. Anyways, reading. I finished a book this morning, but it's for a different vlog that I'm working on, for the vlog where I retry books that I previously DNF'd, so I'll leave my thoughts for that one. And then my current read, if I can find my phone, I left my Kindle upstairs. So my current read is Snake Eater by Kingfisher, which is excellent so far. I am 48% through and loving it. It's so good. I would say that it is a horror, but like barely a horror. It's more kind of unsettling and moody rather than horrific, but the creepy bits are coming into play right now, and I'm very much enjoying that part of it. I love her writing. I love this character as well. She is very, very anxious, and I think that is written very well. It's about a woman who runs away from her life after her mom passes away and her ex-boyfriend is a piece of work, and she just can't handle anything, so she runs away to go and try and reconnect with her aunt who lives in the desert. But when she gets there, she learns that her aunt had actually passed away about a year ago, but she has no money for a train ride home and nowhere else to go anyways, so she temporarily moves into her aunt's old house on the edge of this very, very tiny town in the middle of the desert. And there are some weird things happening in the desert, some weird creatures that take a bit of a liking to her. So yeah, having a good time with this one right now. I do have another book out from Libby right now, which is Saints of Storm and Sorrow by Gabriela Buba. Filipino-inspired fantasy debut where a bisexual nun hiding a goddess-given gift is unwillingly transformed into a lightning rod for her people's struggle against colonization. That sounds pretty good to me. I have that out on Libby right now, so I'll probably start that one next. Probably not tonight. I'm exhausted. I love this dog so much, but he's used to being awake very early in the morning, which means he's had me awake very early in the morning. It was also daylight savings time on Sunday, so I'm adjusting to that and also awake significantly earlier than usual because this guy has me awake at like 6 a.m. or earlier most days. So I think tonight I'm too tired to read. My plans for the rest of the evening is to turn on that TV and watch some Drag Race and also play some video games. My friend told me before they left that they got the game Stray and I was welcome to play it, so I've been doing that for the last couple of nights, and it is a lovely little game. You play a stray cat who ends up falling through like a crack in the world basically and ends up in this underground like slum sort of thing that's full of robots who have been abandoned, but they've been desperately trying to get back to the surface for hundreds of years, and you're just a little kitty running around helping them, solving some little mysteries along the way, and it is lovely. There are some parts that are pretty tense, but nothing is overly difficult, so it's a nice like kind of brain off game, and the art is beautiful as well. So I'm having a great time with this game, and honestly that is my plan for the rest of the night. I'll probably switch between that, some TV, and maybe a little bit of Snake Eater before I go to bed, but I'm not planning on starting anything new right now, at least. I have the day off from work tomorrow, so tomorrow will be time to start a new book, but tonight is time to rot on the couch, basically. So, which I'm gonna go do right now. I'm gonna stop talking, get cozy, take this guy for a walk soon, and we'll see where the night takes me. terrible lighting, but it's the best that I've got right now, so we're going with it. But hello, how are we doing? It is Friday, I think. Yeah, it's Friday. I'm still at my friend's house. I'm just packing up my stuff to go, so I figured I would update while I am packing my bag. So hopefully you can hear me decently, even if I'm not like directly facing the camera, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe this isn't even a usable clip. We'll find out. But anyways, hi, how are you guys doing? How's your week been? Mine's been great, but I'm also exhausted. I love dogs. I love when my friends have dogs. I love pet sitting for my friends. I think it's wonderful and fun. However, I will never own a dog of my own. I have barely slept this entire week, mainly because like it's just not my bed. The mattress is harder than I'm used to. I don't like their pillows, that kind of thing. So I'm just like uncomfortable sleeping. But also, this dog is wonderful and I love him dearly, but he's also a menace. So this is a king size bed. I have had the luxury of a king size bed this whole week. And yet I am squeezed into the tiniest little edge where I'm barely hanging on for my life because between the dog and the two cats, I am not allowed to sit comfortably in this bed. But that's okay because we love them anyways. Anyways, I do have actually a whole bunch of reading updates. Well, not that many. I haven't read a whole lot this week. Can't really focus for longer than 5 minutes at a time when there's a very hyper dog around me. So hasn't been a crazy amount of reading this week, which is funny because I brought 2 books with me. I brought Horsefly and Braiding Sweetgrass, and I touched neither of these, didn't even think about picking them up. I was mostly listening to audiobooks, and then I'm still making my way through Snake Eater by Kingfisher right now. I didn't check, but I think I'm about 80 to 85% of the way through it right now, so I'm hoping to finish that one up tonight. I got a little bit bored towards the middle of it, but things are picking back up again. There was just a bit of a lull between the, I would say 40 to 60% was a little bit boring. But the part where I'm at, I am back to being fully invested in the story, and I can't wait to see where things go with it. I'm just getting to what I'm assuming is going to be the climax of the story, and I have a feeling things are about to get weird, and I love that. And then I ended up listening to the audiobook for The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jasinska, I think was the name of the author. This was my pick for Backlist Berry for this month. It's been on my TBR since 2021. It was one that I was so excited for before it came out. I've been looking forward to it for months before it was released, and then I just never got around to it, and now it's been 5 years. And sadly, I did not love this book. And it really sucks because if I had read it 5 years ago, I probably would have loved it. I can see my younger self eating up this kind of book. Maybe not quite 5 years ago. I think if I was maybe 20, 21 around there, or even a bit younger, I would have loved this book so much. But as is, I was really not feeling it. It was very juvenile, and they are literally teenagers. It's a YA sapphic fantasy. It's about 2 rival witches. They're the assistants of the Yagas, and they're both tasked by their witches to go and seek out the hearts of Prince, which is what gives the witches power. And the 2 of them have been rivals for years and years and years. They end up meeting without realizing that it's the other one, and they kind of become friends, and then realize, oh shit, you're my rival. And they're both after the same prince's heart. So it was really fun in that way. I liked the idea of the plot, but the reality of it was just not quite for me. I really didn't like the rivals part of it. It was just really juvenile and just wasn't really doing anything for me. I wasn't having a good time with it. I did like the descriptions of food in this book. I thought that was really nice. I liked the wintry setting with the balls and all the cool dresses and that kind of thing. That was great. So the setting was definitely the best part of it, but everything else, from the characters, the plot, the writing style, everything was a huge miss for me. So I ended up giving this one a 2.5 star. I definitely should have DNF'd it, but for some reason I didn't do that, so I just kind of suffered through it and finished it for some reason or other. And then after that, because I was having a hard time focusing, I didn't want to start anything too heavy or things that involved me to focus a lot. So I picked up another romance kind of on a whim. This one was not on my actual TBR for the month, but it has been on my TBR for quite a while on Storygraph. I think it's been around since last year, the year before, I want to say, somewhere, I don't know. It's been there for a bit. So I picked up, oh crap, what's it called? Second Night Stand by Karelia and Stetz-Waters, which is a contemporary sapphic romance. It's about 2 women who have a one-night stand, the best night of their life. Basically, they had a great time together, and then they later on find out that they're both going to be part of the same competition dance show, and both of them have very high stakes to win. Things kind of go from there. This is really fun so far. I don't think it's going to be a standout romance for me, but it is a good time, and I'm enjoying it. I'm roughly halfway through it right now, and I'll most most likely have that one finished up by tomorrow, I want to say. It's basically my plan for the rest of the night is, like, after I get home and kind of unpack my bag and clean up and stuff, I will be sitting in bed reading for the rest of the night. Because I am exhausted, so I definitely just want to chill. So, like, I've technically been chilling this whole week. I haven't had any chores to do aside from kind of cleaning up after myself, but I feel weird, you know, cleaning my friend's bathroom, so I haven't been doing like house tours. But between the horrible sleeping and going on 2 or 3 walks a day with the dog, I'm beat, and tonight is gonna be a night to just do absolutely nothing, so I can't wait to do that. And I'll get to hang out with my Tony again. This is the longest that I've been away from my cat, I think, ever. And I miss him dearly, so I'm definitely gonna go home and give him some really good snuggles, and I'm looking forward to it. He is not a snuggly cat, but every once in a while he will tolerate it, basically just for my sake, so I will be forcing him to cuddle with me for a little while. I think those were all the reading updates that I had for right now. Let me double check. Oh, I had a DNF. I tried reading This Princess Kills Monsters by Herman. I got 3% of the way through, which is roughly 12 pages. It was the audiobook, and I swiftly DNF'd that one. That was not for me. I like the sort of satirical comedy fantasy that's been coming out lately. Things like How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. I love that series. And there are a few others on my TBR that are kind of in the similar humor style, but this one was a little bit too much. This far surpassed the threshold of satirical and comedic and just went right into stupid. So definitely not the book for me, but hopefully the book for somebody else. But yeah, I think that's it for right now, so I'm gonna stop yapping, finish packing my bag, and get myself on home and have a hopefully early night. I would love to sleep well tonight, so wish me luck on that endeavor. Hello, it's Monday. Time to wrap up the weekly vlog. Did I do anything of interest over the last couple of days? I don't think so. I started watching the new season of Queer Eye, which is the final season, and I'm devastated about it. Even though I know that the people, like the Fab Five, they actually don't get along at all, and they're kind of terrible people behind the scenes from what I've heard. I still love the show. I've been watching it for a decade, and it has been a huge comfort show to me. I used to watch it over and over again. I've probably seen at least the early seasons in their entirety like 4 or 5 times each. I love this show dearly, and I'm so sad that it's ending. All good things come to an end, as they say, so that's all right. I think that's really it. I had a pretty quiet weekend. It was so nice to be back in my bed on Friday night. Oh my god, I missed my bed so much. And Tony, of course, he is currently chilling. I don't know if he's in frame or not, but he's over there right now. He's having a good time. But yeah, anyways, reading stuff. I finished a couple things since the last time we spoke, which I think was on Friday, I'm pretty sure. But I was reading Snake Eater by Kingfisher, which I have finished now, and I gave it a 4-star. I think I was saying before that I actually would not classify this one as a horror. I think it had elements that were unsettling, but overall, I don't really think it's that scary. There were some moments that were tense, but mostly I would just call this, I actually don't really know what genre, to be honest. I guess just like general fantasy, whatever it is. It's not a horror to me, at least, but it was a really interesting read. It did drag quite a bit in the middle. I found the plot to be a little bit boring in the middle, things just felt very mundane, but when the interesting parts did kick in, they were very, very good, and I had a good time with it. I especially loved the ending of it, and I especially loved that one of the main side characters was an elderly trans woman with an active sex life, which you literally never see in books or movies, literally ever. So that was a wonderful surprise. But yeah, the plot of this one was fun. I had a good time with it. It's not my favorite Kingfisher book, but that is okay. A 4-star is still a fantastic read. And then I was also reading Second Nightstand by Faye and Karelia Stetz-Waters, which I ended up giving a 3.5 star to. This one was good, but I did kind of get a bit bored towards the end of it. I think my main thing was the audiobook narrator. I think she did a good job for the most part, but I had a hard time differentiating between the two main characters. It was dual POV, and there was no difference in the voice for either character, so they sounded the exact same, and I had a very hard time following who was who. And I found the kind of more dramatic scene to be very breathy, so dramatic and over the top that I kind of had a hard time taking it seriously in some ways. But otherwise, this was good. I liked the communication between the main characters. I think the third act breakup actually made sense, which is nice for a change. I usually hate that part of it, and I didn't love the third act breakup. I almost never will, but at least with this one it did have some logic to it. But aside from those two things, I did start a couple of things yesterday, but I'm going to save those for next week's vlog. Just give me less to ramble about here, so which means that should do it for this week's vlog. So thank you as always for watching. I hope you also had a fantastic week, and I will catch you in the next one.